Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. President Andrzej Duda has signed an amended law that raises Poland's 500-plus monthly child benefit from 500 zloty to 800 zloty. The change constitutes a 60% increase in the ruling party's flagship 500-plus programme introduced in 2016. All families with children under 18 are eligible for the benefit, regardless of parental income.
The signing took place at a family picnic in the town of Tarczyn in central Poland, attended by Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki and Family and Social Policy Minister Marlena Maląg. The rise in the allowance was announced in late May by Jarosław Kaczyński, the leader of the ruling Law and Justice Party. From the new year on, the name of 500 plus will still be remembered, but the amount will be different, 800 plus. He had said at the time that the hike was not feasible before parliamentary elections scheduled for this autumn because it may increase inflation. In late June, Morawiecki said after a cabinet meeting that high inflation had failed to make a dent in the programme's financial resources and that tightening the tax system had allowed the government to raise the benefit to 800 zloty. The new benefit will come into force on the 1st of January next year. You don't have to do any paperwork and the benefit will be up to 800 zloty a month. Is it much? Personally, I think it is, because up to now it was 500 zloty. And 800 zloty means that the benefit is increased by 60%. The change constitutes a 60% rise of the ruling party's flagship 500-plus programme introduced in 2016. All families with children under 18, regardless of the parent's income, are eligible for the benefit. In spite of many voices that questioned this, as it turned out, by pseudo-experts who predicted a crash in the state budget due to the payments, there were cries from the opposition that the budget was unsustainable. According to Minister Maląg, around 7 million children will benefit from the 800-plus programme. Boosting the child benefit to 800 zloty is expected to cost Poland's budget around 24 billion zloty every year. The happiness of children and the peace of mind of their parents are at the heart of our policies. That's how we measure economic growth and how we measure all of our economic policies. Not indicators, but smiles on children's faces. According to the Ministry of Social Policy and Family, 6,400,000 children had received the 500-plus benefit by June this year. In turn, more than 237 billion zloty has been spent on the programme since its inception.
United States Navy vessels are shadowing a Russian-Chinese fleet that operates near the Aleutian Islands of the North Pacific. This is at least the third year in a row that Chinese naval ships have sailed in or near waters off the Aleutian Islands in the Bering Sea and North Pacific Ocean. United States Senators Dan Sullivan and Lisa Murkowski call it another reminder that we have entered a new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictators in Beijing and Moscow.
According to senators, 11 military vessels from China and Russia found operating near the Aleutian Islands last week were met by 4 United States Navy destroyers. Dan Sullivan and Lisa Murkowski issued a joint news release that reads, "We have been in close contact with the leadership from Alaska Command for several days now and received detailed classified briefings about the foreign vessels. The incursion by 11 Chinese and Russian warships operating together off the coast of Alaska is yet another reminder that we have entered a new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictators in Beijing and Moscow," Sullivan said. The war in Ukraine and China-Taiwan tensions have strained US relations with the two countries. This move is highly provocative, Brent Sadler, a retired Navy captain and senior research fellow at the right-leaning Heritage Foundation, told the Wall Street Journal. The Northern Command produced a statement that said, "The combined force did not appear to enter US territory. Moreover, air and maritime assets under US commands conducted operations to assure the defense of the United States and Canada. The patrol remained in international waters and was not considered to be a threat."
Ukraine's coat of arms has replaced the Soviet-era hammer and sickle state emblem on Kiev's largest monument, the Motherland Monument, more than a week after work started at the site. It was a cultural shift towards a stronger Ukrainian self-identity, accompanied by a political tilt towards the West that infuriated Russian President Vladimir Putin and was used, in part, as his justification for invading Ukraine. Kiev says the invasion is an imperial mission to recreate the Soviet Union.
In late July, workers used cables to lower dismantled parts of the Soviet Union emblem to the ground. The largest piece, the crossed hammer and sickle, was removed on the 1st of August. On the 5th of August, work started on lifting up the 500-kilogram trident, but it was stopped by adverse weather and an aerial attack warning. Not only do we have to guarantee resistance on the actual front line, but also put up a successful fight on the ideological and cultural front line. The dismounted elements have historical value. They're important for researching the 40 years during which the Soviet emblem was on this monument, and specifically for researching the years during which Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. It was a cultural shift towards a stronger Ukrainian self-identity, accompanied by a recent political tilt towards the West that infuriated Russian President Vladimir Putin and was used, in part, as his justification for invading Ukraine. Kyiv says the invasion is an imperial mission to recreate the Soviet Union. During the Maidan Revolution of 2014, demonstrators brought down statues of Soviet hero Vladimir Lenin, rejecting authoritarianism and communism and demanding closer ties with the European Union. Streets and squares previously named after Soviet party leaders or generals were given new names after Ukraine outlawed Soviet symbols in 2015, the year after Russia annexed Crimea and backed separatist proxies in the country's east.
Polish pipeline operator Pern said it had detected a leak on Saturday evening in one line of the Druzhba pipeline, which carries oil from Russia to Europe, and had halted pumping oil through the line.
The leak was detected near Hodecz in central Poland, on one of the two lines of the western section of the Druzhba pipeline through which crude oil reaches Germany, Pern said, adding that the second line was operating without any changes and there was no health threat to local residents. The leak was spotted immediately by local residents. Therefore, the firefighters and the Pern company, the pipeline's administrator, were alerted quickly. The part of the pipeline that was affected by the leak was cut off from the rest with a lock, so that the scale of the leak is not huge. We're talking about a rectangular area measuring 30 by 210 metres. The firefighters secured the site of the leak and used specialised equipment to assess the potential risk of explosion that turned out to be non-existent. The site was marked as restricted with tape, and the police blocked the entrance to the restricted area. In the initial phase of our activities, we decided to evacuate 2 residents from a house that's located 120 metres from the site. The company is investigating the cause of the incident and has secured the area, saying supply to Polish refineries was not impacted and that it was in contact with German partners receiving oil through the pipeline. Germany stopped buying Russian oil in January. The Druzhba oil pipeline is one of the world's largest and can carry 2 million barrels per day. The total capacity of the western section of both lines that carry oil from central Poland to Germany is 27 million tonnes of crude oil per year. Europe has been on high alert over the security of its energy infrastructure after Russia invaded Ukraine last year and since major leaks were found in the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 gas pipelines running from Russia to Europe under the Baltic Sea.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.